This is Dr. Mary Kay Bacayao from Mercer University, and we are doing ESOL Alphabet Soup Part 2. We last left off talking about the access test. Now, this is the test that's given annually to ESOL students, and it's a diagnostic test. It's not a screening tool that helps us identify the level of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And these go from a 1 to a 6. So notice in listening, this student has a 5, but in speaking a 3.5, and reading a 1.9, and in writing a 3.4. And our composite here for the student is a 3.1. So we can use each of these domains to come over here and look at our can-do descriptors and see what our students can do for each domain. So since they scored a level 3 developing, these are the things that that student should be able to do. And since they scored a 1.9, which is between a level 1 and a level 2, in reading, this is where that student would be. So this is a great diagnostic tool to help us with instruction. Also on the WITA site, you can search the ELP standards and get results based on the grade level and the domain so that we can have topics for these can-do descriptors. Here's an example of one from the Common Core Math, grade 2. And you notice instead of beginning right here, you say beginning, now it says emerging. We have vocabulary, the cognitive function, and examples. And here is one for writing, and this one is for science. Here's the standard, and here's the domain, vocabulary, and what they could do at each level. It's really convenient. Now let's look at when our students are identified as eligible for ESOL services. We want to make sure that we provide the correct number of minutes. So we could have a pull-out, a push-in, or a scheduled class, or any combination. But in kindergarten through 3rd grade, we're going to have that for at least 45 minutes. In the 4th through 8th grade, at least 50 minutes. And in 8th through 12th grade, we're going to have ESOL services scheduled for at least 55 minutes a day. Now, let's look at the permanent record folder checklist and the things that go in the permanent record folder. Right here, we have the access, that annual test. We have the screening tool, the WAPT, and the standardized test scores. We have the home language survey, the yearly teacher report, any indicator and retention data, and then of course, in the ESOL green folder kept with the permanent record, we're going to make sure that we have documented the access scores in a letter to the parent in their language. So where are we going to get this information? Here's where we're going to get it. This is the Transact website, and we would need a login from our school, or our district would have to purchase this. And I'm going to show you a little bit more about that here in this PowerPoint, where you can go in, and there are folders for general ed parent notifications and NCLB parent notifications. And if you dig down deeper, you're going to have a folder just for ELL and special services, where you can get all of these forms in the native language of your students. And this is what it looks like when you get all of those PDFs in there. So let's review the things that we have talked about in both parts of these videos. So we're talking about the WITA site, and the WAPT is the screening tool. And then we have our access test, which is the annual test given for ESOL students. And from there, we can pull up the can-do descriptors. We can do that right now, even without a password, as to what our students can do. So if we have someone else administer the test, we can get those results and be able to implement them using these can-do descriptors, and make sure our parents are informed in their home language with the Transact. And that's all for part 2, and I hope that you are enjoying your ESOL students, and thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.